What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin with Optimized Essentials, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking to you about porn, drugs, and video games, and how that is destroying modern men, all right? I'm actually gonna be reading from an article that a lady called Claire Nocti wrote. It's called Porn, Drugs, and Video Games Eating Modern Day Alive. Now, I found her on Instagram. No, I was not stalking her. She pulled an Instagram trick on me, right? Instagram model. She liked some of my photos and I fell for the bait. I clicked on her profile and I was browsing through her profile just to see, who she is, what she's about. And the funniest thing was I read her descriptions, like the descriptions. I wasn't so much into her photos. I was more so into the elements of her photos, because she has some photos that kind of it depicts like ancient Indian mythological themes, and I started reading somehow, and I encountered her content, and I'm like, wow, this girl is very smart. This girl has a lot of substance. She has a lot of wisdom, and she's not your typical Instagram model who just has big boobs, big butt, and that's it, right? She actually has some brains. So when I looked into her website, she's into like astrology, Vedic astrology, I believe. And she talks a lot about, I think it's called nakshatras. I haven't looked too much into the Vedic astrology, so I don't know too much about that. But all I know is she is speaking some truth. And if you haven't checked her out, go check her out on Instagram. Go follow her on YouTube. I believe it's also Claire Nocti. I'll post some pictures up there. And then read the rest of her article, because I'm only going to be reading the first paragraph in today's video, because it captures the essence of what's going on, why men are becoming weak. If you haven't seen that video, Why Men Are Becoming Weak and Effeminate, go check that out, because I describe all of the reasons, not just porn, drugs, and video games, but all of the reasons why men are being plagued nowadays. And then she also articulates, which I'm about to read, the essence of what porn, drugs, and video games are doing, okay? So let me read it. I'll explain and elaborate my point of view, and I look forward to potentially interviewing her. So go to her channel and be like, Kevin sent me here, and he wants an interview with you, all right? So let's get right into it. Porn, drugs, and video games eating modern day men alive, okay? Male energy in our modern world is constantly facing temptation to be quickly and easily grounded. Because male energy is projecting in nature, its function is to innately find an element to project itself, to ground itself, to plant seeds, to bear fruit in all elements of life, not just sexual. And in previous times, for men, this pursuit was the very essence and fuel for life itself. Our stimulating modern world, however, threatens male energy far more than it does to the feminine, which is still and absorbing and less tempted to project outwardly. Starting in early adolescence, men are offered extremely quick and effortless ways to ground their energy, to conquer, to plant seeds, etc., in a way that is illusory, right? Porn allows them instant access to the females that they would have previously and vigorously pursued outwardly. Things like overuse of video games, for example, allow them illusion of building a skill, dominating or conquering in any sense whatsoever. These grounds replace the rebellion, pursuit, and passion that men in the past reveled in during their young life. Semen that used to fall in the yonis, which basically means vagina, is literally thrown and willfully into the garbage, or in a napkin or a sock or whatever you guys use. Most passions or skill sets belong to a fake, imaginary world. The allure of the yoni, again, the vagina, or consumerism of technology, is quite literally eating many young men alive. This leads leads men to enter their adult life already drained, with no real passions beyond the low-hanging fruit that everyone likes. Little to no unique knowledge or applicable skill, few informed or passion-fueled opinions, and then movements like MGTOW, men going their own way, MGTOW, ask why men have lost the immediate respect and submission of women. Men enter a relationship, and many are not even sure anymore what their role or purpose is. Was it to give something? Because what do they have now to give? Mic drop. That was powerful, guys. She hit the nail on the head and she described it so beautifully, which is why when I read her stuff, I was like, man, this girl really knows what she's talking about. And she articulated it so well. So I look forward to that interview, girl. I look forward to that interview or that podcast, whatever is going to happen. So she describes the yoni of technology. Yoni is the term for vagina, for pussy, for the male, female genital, right? If you think about it, right? Men are projecting in nature. We want to dominate, we want to project, we want to penetrate, we want to put our energy into something. We want to build something. We want to build a sandcastle. We want to build a real castle. We want to build buildings. We want to build cars. We want to do things, right? We want to do things. That's why video games is so alluring, because it takes our energy, right? And we can watch it transform. We can build characters. We can dress them up. We can make gold, right? We can make minions. We can, build up our castles or defenses. We can do so much things in video games. And that makes it feel like we're accomplishing something, right? But I alluded to this in my previous video, why men are becoming weak and effeminate. This is nothing but illusion, right? We're grounding ourselves, we're laying our roots in quicksand. And if you didn't know already, laying your roots in quicksand, trying to dominate a video game is not going to get you any results in life. Constantly jacking off to porn, watching porn and masturbating, that's not going to get you further in life. In fact, that's only draining your energy. Your brain believes that it's having access to these very high-level females or has an abundance of females, and it doesn't have to do any work to do it. So what you're doing is you're overloading your brain with, dopamine and those pleasure chemicals without actually having to put in the diligent hard work that it takes to become a man that can actually have sex with that many women. And when you cut that shortcut, when you make that leap that without doing the work necessary, you're cheating the system. And nature, the laws of nature, doesn't support that. And the most obvious way you can see that is by the way you feel, right? You are drained, you're depleted, you have low self-esteem because you haven't done anything to improve your character and you're trying to get all the rewards. It doesn't work that way, guys. If you want the reward to taste good, if you want that fruit to taste good, you have to put in the work, right? If you don't put in the work and you're just going around taking fruit, guess what happens? That fruit is going to turn into a bitter fruit. That fruit is going to turn into rotten fruit. It's going to be poisonous because you didn't put in the work to earn it. And that's why it's eating modern day men alive, because porn, right? Busting our nut. Yeah. Video games, building spaceships, conquering people, dominating games, drugs, right? This is what I believe, because we've given so much of our energy to porn, video games, gambling, alcohol, drugs, and all that, we don't feel adequate as a man. We don't feel fulfilled. We don't have a passion, right? Which is important. We don't have a purpose. We don't know what we're here to do. We're lost. We're confused. We're scared. We want someone to guide us. We want someone to tell us what to do. Daddy, tell me what to do. Be your own dad, guys. You have to be the man that wakes up to his greatness, which is why I have this shirt, right? Wake the fuck up. And then the back says, stop sleeping. If you got the balls to wear this, drop it down in the comments below. I will give you one for free, okay? Now, back to what I was saying, okay? I'm going to make this as short as I can because I have a tendency to talk on and on. Men, we're in hard times, right? There's a quote, I've said this again, or I've said this before. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. We're in hard times. We need strong men, right? That's why I made the shirt. It's to tell people to wake up. And it's not polite, it's not politically correct, but guess what? I'm exercising my masculinity. I want to level up in the game called life. I don't want to level up in a fake game. I want to level up in the real game. And the way you do that is by challenging your masculinity. It's by exercising who you are as a man. It's about finding your passion and your purpose and dominating that path. And that's why I have so much fire going on, right? People who known me in the past are like, Kevin, is that you? Who is that? That's a completely different person. They'll probably think I'm fake. I'm just projecting my masculinity in a very intense way because, quite frankly, you can't talk to men who are asleep in a nice tone, right? If someone has been sleeping and you guys need to do something important, right? You need to get some shit done, and you're just, trying to wake them up, and they're just like, don't bother me, I'm trying to sleep. Do you think being polite about, hey, sir, wake up? No, you tell him to wake the fuck up! And then eventually, he'll wake up, right? You gotta slap him a few times, and you gotta tell him, we gotta do something important. We gotta save the world, right? The earth needs our help. The universe needs our help, right? Well, regardless, I believe, humanity is gonna exist with or without me. But I'm just here to do my part, guys. I'm here to wake men up because, quite frankly, I see a lot of the weak tendencies in me, right? I'm tired of being a little bitch, and I'm sure you are too if you're watching this video, because you're tired of ejaculating, giving your energy to video games, giving your energy to porn, giving your energy to drugs, right? Do something with your life. Start NoFap, start semen retention, reclaim your masculinity, take your energy back, ground yourself in yourself. Don't take the energy and bring it out to the external world because it's going to dissipate quickly. But ground it in yourself first and then channel it into something that actually matters. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. If you want a t-shirt, get one. Let me know. And also, I have a new program that came out. It's called Sexual Manifestation. You can get the first chapter for free if you're trying to learn how sexual transmutation works. Get that chapter free, no charge. Of course, I'm going to tell you something at the end. If you like the program, get the whole thing. The first chapter explains what sexual transmutation is, and it goes really in depth and in detail because, quite frankly, I was confused when I learned about sexual transmutation. I didn't know how it worked. So check that out, and then if you like it, I encourage you to get the full program because I'll teach you all the other practices and principles to support you in harnessing your sexual desire, in attracting people with your sexual desire, in making money with your sexual energy, and then all the principles that you can use to amplify and compound your sexual energy 10, 100-fold, okay? So it's Kevin with Optimize Essentials. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, stay subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.